Welcome back to the third part of the DHCP server. So let's begin uh, configuring DHCP. Well, last week we have already installed the DHCP server and I would like to reconfigure it today. So here's our DHCP server and let's configure a new scope. So uh, I would like to name my company MT Tech Development Company and innovation and trend. Just a short description. And our start IP address is 192.168.1.1 up to 192.168.1.254. In this time, I want to divide this network into 4 subnets. Each network has 64 IP addresses, 62 IP address for the clients, and one network address, and the last one is the broadcast IP address. Next, yes, I want to create a super scope that contains 4 scopes with 64 addresses, as I told you, and the duration is 8 days, 0 hours, 0 minutes. Next. In here, I want to add the IP address of my router 192.168.1.1, and this is our server IP address, which is already resolved, and resolve it once again. So I write here mttech dot live, then resolve, and it is 192.168.1.10. Add. Next. In here, win server IP address, which is 192.168.1.10. Let's resolve it as well and add. And yes, I want to activate the scope now. So here I have 4 subnets. So let's divide these subnets. The first one is for the management, and the second one is for the HR, which starts from 65 up to 126. And the third one for the marketing department, and the fourth one here for the business development. So here I have 4 scopes for each department. Now I want to take a backup of these 4 scopes. How? We'll come to the empty-take.live, then backup. Then I have here the D drive. So inside D drive, I would like to create a folder under the name of DHCP backup. And I want to choose this folder. Let me see. Everything is perfect. Yeah, I will choose a DHCP backup. And now let's see if the backup is already there. I will check the DHCP backup. In here, I have already had the DHCP backup here in drive D. So suppose if the DHCP gets corrupted or deleted. So here for the purpose of this example, I will delete the 4 scopes. Let me delete all the scopes from here. And let's restart our DHCP server. That no records remain here. So here is a fresh copy of the DHCP. Now time to restore our backup. So let's come to the D drive and let's backup. Okay, then okay, and okay. So yeah, the database was restored successfully. And here is all the databases of our scopes. So this was how to backup and how to restore a DHCP server. And here, if you want to stop the DHCP server, so you'll press stop here. Then the DHCP server will be stopped completely. And if you want to start it, you can start it as well from the same resource. And restart is if you want to restart or reinitiate the DHCP server. So you will reinitiate from here. Here is the view, large icons and small icons. This is simple. And in order to delete the DHCP server, so we can delete it from here, refresh, sportless, and here is the property of the DHCP server. And Alice has been already, a computer has been distributed an IP address, which is 192.168.1.1. Let's configure our DHCP server here. Previously it was configured manually, but I want to change it to get the DHCP address. So let's check the status. Here is 2. So in our previous video, we have learned how to reserve an IP address. In this video, here we have the leases of 2 IP addresses for the 2 computers. The sales department, we let them .empty-tag.live. So I would like to reserve this IP address for this computer, which is running in the background, Windows 10, which has the IP address of 192.168.1.2. So let's reserve this IP address for this PC that could use lifetime without any restrictions. So here's our server, and here is our address pool. So here is the 2 addresses, and this is 192.168.1.2 for the management department. So let's reserve this IP address. Right click, then add to reservation. So lease converted successfully to reservation. When we check the reservation folder, we have 192.168.1.2 for the sales department. So this IP is reserved for this computer. Actually, it says it's sales, but this computer is in management department. So don't get confused. And in here are 2 filters, allow and deny. And if you want to enable them, so just right click and enable, deny, and allow. So allow, if you want to allow the computers to get IP address from the DHCP, you can add the computers here in allow folder. If you want to deny the computers not to get the IP address from the DHCP server, then you can add them in deny folder. So for the purpose of demo, let's go to the MGR, and here we have 2 computers, 1.2 and 1.1. So if you want to allow a computer to get IP address from the DHCP, just come here, right click, then add to filter and allow. So, and yes, then this computer will be included in allow folder, and it always gets IP address from the DHCP server without any delays or without any restrictions. So this is the policy of the filter. And if you want to deny a computer not to get the IP address from the DHCP server, so it's essential to add that computer to the deny folder, such as we have here a computer 192.168.1.2, and I would like to add it to the deny folder. Boom. So even it was in reservation, but it has been removed from the reservation and directly included in deny folder. Now this computer after this will never get an IP address from the DHCP server. And the computer with an allow folder will get always the IP address. So we can do it through the folder as well. All you have to do, come to the allow folder, then a new filter. In this portion, you can add the MAC address. In this portion, you can add the MAC address of the computer. For example, you can add a MAC address just for as an example 00 17.5h 17.5h 17.5 5E 3D 0266. Let's write a brief description. Marketing supervisor. Then that. So, well, let's see. The computer has been added here, marketing supervisor. And if you want to deny this computer, that this computer shouldn't get IP address, all you have to do, move to deny. So this computer has been added in deny section, in deny folder. So this computer will not be able to get IP address from the DHCP server. Here, if you want to deactivate the super scope, you can deactivate it as well. It's marked with red, all of them. They're all deactivated. And if you come to the client's PC, so let's go to ncpa.cpl and let's disable this and let's enable. Then this PC won't be able to get an IP address from DHCP because all the scopes were deactivated. It goes to first to enable, then the second step to identifying. So it won't get an IP address as long as the DHCP server, the scopes are disabled. So let's activate it back from here and all are green. And I have already explained about the scope option and here as well we have another properties. Here we have the update statistics every 1 hour. Generally it's activated. If you see the statistics, so here we have 9 discovers, offers 4 IP address, delete offers is 0, request 10, acknowledgement 6. So all the information about the DHCP. So if you want to automatically update statistic every 1 hour or 10 minutes, you can turn on this option. And here is the information about the DNS. The filters are enabled. The failover, we did not configure it yet. So let's configure failover. So what's the idea of failover? Failover has 2 classifications. The first one load balancing, then the second standby. So the first one, it balances the load between 2 DHCP servers. In standby, if the DHCP server stops working, the another DHCP server as a standby will automatically turn on and distributes IP address for the clients. So let's configure the failover first. Let me turn on my Windows Server failover. So here, this is our DHCP failover PC. So this is the Windows Server 2019 DHCP failover. And here the DHCP server is not installed. So before installing the DHCP server, let's assign an IP address automatically. Let me check. the IP hasn't been assigned. So let's go to the properties, then IP version 4, then 192.168.1.6, then 255.255.255.192, because we divided our network into 4 subnets. So here the default gateway is 192.168.1.1, sorry, 10. The IP address of our server 192.168.1.10. So, and now everything is perfect. Let's disable, let's enable it once again, and let's try to ping our server cmd command prompt. Run as administrator. So let's ping 192.168.10. So here the server has been pinged, and so here let's install the DHCP server from add roles features, and here's the DHCP server. Add, next, next, next. If a start is absolutely needed, then the system gets restarted, otherwise install. So it takes a couple of minutes. Till then I will stop the video. So here the DHCP server has been installed, and we can configure from here as well, and from the notification beside the manage as well. So let's complete the configuration from here, and let's close here, and let's commit this. Yeah, now the DHCP has been installed, and here we can see the DHCP role has been installed, and for now we have no scopes, and let's configure the failover, and let's go back to the DHCP server, which is already installed in domain controller. So here is our DHCP server, and let's come to IP version 4 and configure failover. So here we have all the subnets, and select all, or you can select the first one, then next. So let's add the server 192.168.1.6, 192.168.1.6. Let's find this. The DHCP server has been found. So this one, then OK. So the server has been added, and next. In here, as I told you, we have two options: load balancing and standby. Let's install first the load balance to balance the server responsibility to DHCP responsibility into 50-50. to the local and to the partner to another DHCP server which is currently installed. And let's have a shared secret. I will say 2004 and next and finish. So everything is successful and we configure the failover. So let's go back to the another DHCP server and we see nothing has been changed. And let's refresh. And here is the super scope. Only the first scope because we chose the first subnet 192.168.1.0. So here is the address leases here, and you could choose all the subnets as well. So this address has been reserved and everything is perfect. So you can back up here as well if you wish to. Here is another drive for the backup. Sorry, the drive has not been formatted. Let's format the drive. Start. Okay. So the drive has been formatted and let's choose drive D for the backup. And let's create a folder and let's write DHCP backup scope mgr. And let's choose this folder and the backup has been done. So let's try the replicate failover. Everything has been replicated. If any changes take place in the main DHCP server by a replication of scope, all the details from that DHCP will be replicated to this failover DHCP and it's active. So now let's configure the standby. So let me show you how we can delete the failover to the IP version 4 and failover, and let's delete this from here. So now the failover has been deleted and okay. Now let's check the failover DHCP server. Let's refresh it. And now we see no DHCP failover here. This time let's configure the standby. So configure failover. In here, if you want to add all the scopes this time, we will add all the scopes. Next, and let's add the server, browse. Let's write the IP address of our DHCP failover 192.168.1.6 and let's check the names. It has been found and let's wait for a couple of seconds And okay, next. So this time we will configure the hot standby. The hot standby means, as I told you, if the main DHCP server stops working, the failover DHCP starts working. So that's why we can use the hot standby mode. So here, hot standby configuration, role of partner server. So the partner server, which is nothing but this server, the DHCP failover server. So we configure that server as standby. And addresses reserved for standby server, you can change the percentage as well to 30%. So this is the timing for the state switch over interval. Here is 60 minutes. You can change it as well. If you want a share secret, so let's write once again, 2004 for the share secret. Then next and close. Now everything is successful. So let's check our DHCP failover server and let's refresh. And the entire super scope is here. The MGR, the HR, the marketing, the business development. So all of them are active. Let's disable the main server. Let's deactivate this one, this scope. So the entire scope has been deactivated, and let's check if our standby server became active. Now see, it is active. It works. It distributes IP address to the clients. It does all the activities which the main DHCP server did. So let's reactivate it. If you want to reactivate, we'll come back to the super scope here, then activate. Then everything turns to green. So here is green. It means your DHCP server is working perfectly. And I also told you about the allow and deny. You can filter through the DHCP to do through the MAC address as well. Just write the MAC address of the PC and write a short description and add the PC will be denied. So this was all about the DHCP server part 3. I hope you learned something from it, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Have a nice day. Have a wonderful time. Bye bye.